Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now obviously the background is a bit different today because it is the start of Spooky Week and I wanted to make some spooky themed snacks just to accompany my week-long spooky themed K-pop reaction event. For any of you out there who are interested in cooking and all that stuff, I'm not a chef or a baker. I'm not really good at this stuff. I got like pre-made stuff, but I just still thought it would be fun. But before we get into that, yes, it is 4 p.m., but I do still want some coffee. I haven't had coffee today, so I was like, you know what? Might as well. I got some new flavors on here, so maybe we'll get something new. But yeah, so let's see what we got for today. Today we have cookies and caramel. Okay, this is an iced coffee. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I was thinking, do I want iced coffee or hot coffee? Iced coffee, so let's get into that. I went ahead and got my cup of ice. Put under there, and then I got my cookies and caramel. Alright, and I'm back. I went ahead and gussied it up a little bit with some caramel, some more ice. So good. Cookies and caramel is genuinely one of my favorites. For today, I have these Pillsbury Ghost Sugar Cookies. I have these all the time for like holidays and stuff, and they're so cute and they're so good. Yeah, I'm really excited to do these. So it says heat the oven to 350 or 325 for a non-stick pan. I'm using a non-stick pan, so I put it to 325. It is heating. And then we have to place them on an ungreased cookie sheet, which is what I will do, and then bake 12 to 14 minutes. Now, our oven's kind of weird, and I don't know, I just like to bake it for a couple minutes less than what it says, because you do not want to overbake these. It's not fun. I always do it like a couple minutes less than what it says. So this is what the cookies look like in their packaging. Very cute. And they're gonna pretty much look like this after they bake. So now that they are out of the packaging, I went ahead and washed my hands. Of course, always important to do. So let's get to putting these on here. They really don't spread that much, so they're pretty easy to fit on. Let's see. I can't remember if I had to do these in 2 batches before, but we'll find out. Alright, and I think that is good. We have just a minute left to preheat the oven, and then I'll put them on for about 10 minutes. Alright, and there is the beep signaling that it is preheated. So let's get these cookies in the oven. And we'll put them on for 10 minutes. Now, while those are baking, I'm going to introduce the next thing that I will be making, which is something that's not really necessarily Halloween themed, but I thought that it would still be kind of fun and interesting to have them for Halloween. So my mom got these. They are Wicked themed, and they are cookie dough pops. I've never had cookie dough pops, I've only had cake pops, but I think it's just essentially the same thing. So yeah, I'm going to make these, and you don't actually know what color the mixture is until you actually make them. So we have the sticks, of course, we have the melting chocolates, we have the mysteriously colored mixture, so I have no idea what color this is going to be. And then we have the little sprinkle sugar pieces that is both pink and green. So I thought that this is kind of like a Halloween color theme, so I was like, might as well do it on Halloween as well. So first thing, it says to melt 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, and then we have to mix the cookie dough mix with the butter and a tablespoon of water. So let's get to doing that. All right, here's my little setup. So we got the melted butter right here, we got the mixture right here. I'll get the water in a second once I pour this into the bowl. So let's get this poured in here. There is the mixture. Now let's get a tablespoon of water. I don't know where my tablespoon went, so we have a half tablespoon, so I'll go get a second one, but let's see what color we get. Oh, looks like it's gonna be green. Here is the second half tablespoon. And then we have our melted butter. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be green, which is perfect for spooky month. I'm starting with a fork, but it will turn into like a dough eventually. And I will put gloves on because I do not need dough underneath these nails, girl. It smells so good. I love the smell of like vanilla cake or cookies. Let me go get some gloves on and I will form these better. I used to have pink gloves, but I ran out, unfortunately. That would have been so cute. I was hoping it would be pink just because my favorite color is pink, but for spooky week, I think green is perfect. Don't you just love when dough actually forms how it's supposed to? Oh, this is so fun. It's like dough, Play-Doh, clay. Oh my gosh. And actually it's kind of cool. You can still see like colors in it. So that's kind of cool. I actually don't mind the little bits of color. Oh, there's the oven. I don't actually mind the little bits of color. I am not a perfectionist type person when it comes to like baking, so it doesn't really bother me too much. So let me get those cookies out of the oven and we will form these into little balls. And here are our cookies. Now they were in there for about 10 minutes and then I let them sit for a couple minutes after the oven was turned off, so I really hope that they're cooked, but we'll be able to tell in a little bit. So yeah, those are all done. All right, I had to take my glove off to get the cookies out of the oven, so I switched out my glove. And also I opened the back door because it's a little bit warm in here, so I apologize if you can hear rain or car noises or whatever. So yeah, let's just get into shaping these. Now it says to shape them into 8 balls. So we're going to first split it in half. Half again. Of course, they probably won't be perfect, but that's okay. And then half again. And then these will be our little balls. Also, I do apologize if there's ever anything out of frame, out of focus, whatever. Like I said, am not a chef or a baker. I'm also not really a very good YouTuber, so I'm recording this all with my phone and I can't actually see what it's recording. So, I'm trying my best. Hopefully it looks okay, at least some of the time. And you get the gist of it. But, yes, I apologize if anything is really just not that good. Alright, and there we go. Of course, different sizes and all that, but that's okay, you know. I actually am going to refrigerate these for 10 minutes because I want to make sure that they are sturdy enough when I dip them into the melting chocolate. I don't want them to be falling apart or falling off the stick, so I will be back in about 10 minutes. Alright, it has been about 12 minutes or so, so these have been sufficiently cooled. I have my little mug here that I'm going to put some melting chocolate in. This is microwave safe, so don't worry. And we have the melting wafers, which I will melt in here quickly. And then we have the sticks and the sprinkles. So let us get to melting these wafers. Alright, I think it is sufficiently melted. So the instructions say to just take one, drop it in there, roll it around a little, and use a fork because it gets the excess off. And then drop it. And then put the stick in there. And then use the little sprinkles. So, there we go. I want to see what happens if I put a stick in first. I like to just dip a little bit. That wasn't so bad. Alright, and here we go. Of course, they are by no means perfect or even close to perfect, but they're super cute, and I'm very excited to eat one once they are cooled completely because I will put them in the fridge for probably another 10 minutes or so. Alright guys, and here are the cookies about 15-20 minutes later. So they do seem to be pretty cooked. I did eat one already just to make sure. They could have probably went in just maybe like a minute longer, but I didn't want them to burn because these are very easy to burn. But the edges are pretty crispy, so I didn't want to overcook them. So yeah, definitely super excited. Once the cake pops, or the cookie pops, cool down, I will plate all of these and I'll have a little plate of goodies. Alright, and here we go, all plated. Of course, it looks like a mess. We don't have any Halloween themed plates, but we do have these really cute pumpkin napkins that I just put the cookies and cookie pops on. Of course, I will try these for you guys. Alright, and here is the plate. Of course, here are this little cookie. These are so cute. I love these. So good. And now for one of the cookie pops, I'll just eat this one since it's the messiest. I've never had a cookie pop before, so let's see what it's like. Definitely really sweet, but I love eating cookie dough. So this is like a dream for me, being able to just eat raw cookie dough, because that's just what I love in life. Alright, and there we go. It actually got a little bit of the crystal stuff on my mouth a little bit, but that's fine. Honestly, I love any food that like colors my mouth, my tongue, my teeth, my lips, whatever, because I just think it's so fun. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. This will be posted first day of Spooky Week. The video coming out after this one will be the first episode. So yeah, I'm really excited to get that started. I now have my snacks for Spooky Week, which I will be munching on throughout. If you guys are excited about that, let me know down in the comments. And if you're just here because it's baking and all that good stuff, then thank you so much for watching. But if you're ready for K-pop Spooky Week, then stay tuned because we got a lot coming. We really do. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little snack video, first time ever. I'm sure it wasn't really that good, but you know, that's okay. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.